If you feel tired all the time, unmotivated, unable to focus, and you keep telling yourself you're lazy, stop. What if the truth is this? You're not lazy. You're mentally exhausted, and no one ever taught you how to recover from that. Most of us have been taught to believe that laziness is a character flaw. It's a lack of discipline, a personal failure. But what if that entire belief system is wrong? What if the heaviness you feel when you wake up in the morning, the resistance you have to starting simple tasks, the endless scrolling on your phone, the constant gnawing tiredness, what if it's not laziness at all, but a tired mind that is quietly begging you for rest? Let me tell you something incredibly important, something that might just change how you see yourself. A lazy mind feels bored. An exhausted mind feels overwhelmed. And I would bet that most people watching this right now are not lazy. They are mentally and emotionally exhausted. We live in a world that never truly turns off. The notifications on our phones follow us everywhere. The pressure to compare our lives to others is constant. The expectations from work, family, and even ourselves feel endless. So even when your body is sitting perfectly still, maybe on the couch after a long day, your mind is out there running marathons. It's thinking, worrying, planning, replaying conversations from earlier, and worst of all, judging yourself for not doing more. That is not laziness. That is a state of chronic overload. And this is a crucial distinction to make. Mental exhaustion is fundamentally different from physical tiredness. You can sleep for 8, 9, even 10 hours and still wake up feeling completely drained. Why? Because rest for the body is not the same as rest for the mind. The mind doesn't just need sleep, it needs silence. And true silence, in our modern world, has become a rare and precious commodity. Think about it. How many of us try to rest, but we do it while feeling guilty? We take a break, but we spend the whole time judging ourselves for it. We try to relax, but our minds are flooded with a never-ending to-do list of everything we should be doing. When this happens, our minds never truly get a chance to recover. The mental engine is always idling, always burning fuel, even when the car is parked. And over time, this deep-seated exhaustion starts to disguise itself. It shows up looking like procrastination. You start avoiding tasks, not because you don't care about them, but because your mind has literally no energy left to give. It's like trying to draw water from an empty well. Your cognitive and emotional resources are depleted. Then comes the most dangerous part of this whole cycle. So, you start calling yourself names. You tell yourself you're lazy, undisciplined, weak, but every single time you say those words, you're adding another heavy weight to an already overburdened mind. It's a vicious cycle. The exhaustion leads to inaction, and the inaction leads to self-criticism, which in turn deepens the exhaustion. A monk once said, "You do not heal a wounded body by blaming it for bleeding." It's a powerful image, isn't it? We would never yell at a broken leg for not being able to walk. So why on earth do we do this to our own minds? Why do we punish our minds for showing symptoms of being wounded and tired? There's another quiet truth that almost no one talks about. And it's that mental exhaustion often comes from emotional suppression. It comes from being the strong one for too long. It comes from not expressing sadness, from ignoring stress, from carrying the weight of others' expectations silently on your shoulders. Strength that doesn't have an outlet for release eventually turns into profound fatigue. And the more exhausted you become, the harder it is to even explain what you're feeling, even to yourself. It's a fog that's hard to describe. This is why the idea of doing nothing can feel so deeply uncomfortable for so many people. Stillness has a way of bringing all those suppressed emotions to the surface, and we've been trained our whole lives to avoid that discomfort. So we stay busy. We seek distraction. We keep ourselves constantly occupied, but constant movement isn't always progress. Sometimes, it's just a form of escape. So here is the quiet, gentle truth I want you to hold on to. Your mind is not broken, it is tired. And tired things don't need punishment or criticism, they need care. They need gentleness. Recovery from this state doesn't begin with a new productivity hack or a stricter schedule. It begins with permission. It starts with giving yourself permission to slow down, permission to rest without feeling an ounce of guilt, permission to stop needing to prove your worth through the badge of exhaustion. True discipline, the kind that leads to a sustainable and fulfilling life, is not about forcing yourself forward when you're running on empty. It's about having the wisdom and self-respect to know when to pause, and you can start small. You don't need to book a month-long silent retreat. Just start by creating tiny moments of mental silence in your day. 5 minutes without your phone in your hand, a short walk without headphones or music, taking a single, conscious breath without judging yourself. The goal here isn't to improve yourself or become more productive. The goal is simply to return to yourself, so I invite you to stop asking the question, "What's wrong with me?" and instead, start asking a much kinder, more curious question. What has my mind been carrying? You don't need to become someone new. You just need to feel safe being human again, with all the natural limits and needs that come with it. You are not lazy. You are mentally exhausted. And your healing begins the very moment you stop fighting yourself and start listening to what your mind and body have been trying to tell you all along. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this resonated, consider subscribing for more conversations like this. Take care of yourself.